We're number two. 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 We're number two.
Look.
We're number two, baby.
I-35 with the top down, quick to tell a hater they should get like me. Seem like everybody wanna be the boss, but it costs and these lames ain't shit like.
We are number two. To be honest, I had no idea Sun Peaks was number two, the second largest ski resort in all of Canada. Kind of flies under the radar, but it's a low-key heavy hitter. Sun Peaks is located in the interior of British Columbia, about 45 minutes from Kamloops, or about 4.5 hours drive from Vancouver. Sun Peaks is number two, second largest ski resort in Canada with 4,270 acres of skiable terrain. That is absolutely massive. The highest elevation at Sun Peaks is Mount Todd at 2,152 meters, and there's a vertical drop of 882 meters, which makes for an absolutely long, fun, and flowy run from the top to the bottom. Sun Peaks has 13 total lifts, and 4 of those are high-speed quads. Currently, they're actually building another lift where the West Bowl T-bar is. It's gonna be a chairlift and make the area even more accessible. My favorite lift as a kid was the T-bar right at the base of the resort, because they kind of keep it open for later skiing into the evening. And there's a small terrain park there, and I can just remember trying to hit a rail on my race skis all night long and just absolutely blowing up every single time. But I just was persistent and attempting to slide rails on super sharp, skinny Ogasaka Japanese-made race skis. Good memories. T-bar is my favorite. Always will be. I got so pitted. Although Sun Peaks is massive, it's a fairly easy spot to navigate. I'd break Sun Peaks down into 4 main areas. You've got Todd, Sundance, Orient, and Morrissey. The Todd area is essentially like the front side main area of the Sun Peaks ski resort. You've got the sunburst chair. We always called it the bubble chair because it's got one of those bubbles you can pull down. And that's got all the kind of best steep groomers underneath it. And then you can go higher to the crystal chair, and the upper Burfield chair takes you to the higher reaches of the resort. And that's where all the really kind of fun, steeper, expert terrain is located. You've then got the Sundance chair. That's an awesome spot for kind of intermediates, and it's got some space glades. The terrain park is also on the Sundance chair right underneath it. So good spot to mess around. It opens usually a little earlier as well than the sunburst, so I often end up over there for like a rip or two before the sunburst opens for the day. You also have the Orient area. I've actually found some POW in there before, but it's not really a important area to ski. It was kind of designed more to increase the acreage, but also to help access a lot of the on-mountain accommodation. Sun Peaks is amazing for on-mountain accommodation, which makes it a really fun place to go and to stay. Yeah, that area, it's not insane skiing, but you can kind of find pockets of snow on some mellow runs over there. And then you've got the opposite side of the mountain. So across the road on the other side, there's another mountain called Mount Morrissey. And there's also some really fun terrain over there. There's a mix of kind of really flowy, mellow blue runs, kind of with cool tree islands on it. And then you've got some steep, I call them the laundry runs, on one side of which you can rip down. So those are the 4 main zones that you're gonna wanna check out when you're skiing Sun Peaks. One of the best ways to explore Sun Peaks and really get to know it well is to do a full 360-degree tour. So make sure you ski every single chairlift on the mountain, and it all connects and loops around. So you can ski from kind of the bottom of the Orient over to the Morrissey chair, and then from the Morrissey, you can go down and ski to the bottom of the Burfield, and you can do the full circle of Sun Peaks very easily in a day, and it's just a fun way to get to know the ski resort and get to know your surroundings. You couldn't find a better spot for beginners in Canada if you tried. Sun Peaks has the most wide, mellow green runs I've ever seen. There's a run called 5 Mile Run, and it's just a green run for 5 miles, perfect for beginners who are learning to link turns. 5 Mile Run is so long, in fact, that green skiers could level up to blue skiers even before the time they make it to the bottom. Like by mile 3, they might, already become an intermediate skier because it's that long. There's a lot of blues on the trail map, but don't worry, a lot of these blues are approachable as well. A lot of the blue runs on the Sundance chair are a little more mellow. The blues on the Sunburst chair tend to be a bit steeper. As a beginner, you'll be able to explore pretty much all of the mountain minus skiing down the Burfield chair. So it's really an awesome place for people of all skill levels to be, because you're not gonna feel like you're gated from skiing or seeing parts of the mountain. You're gonna be able to explore everywhere as a beginner, which is always super fun. The intermediate terrain at Sun Peaks is picture perfect, and it's got the edge over most of the other resorts in British Columbia. The snow stays cold. They just do a really good job grooming. I've noticed Whistler sucks at grooming the last couple years. I don't know what the hell is going on. Sun Peaks, the grooming is pristine. And if you want to carve, head to the Sunburst chair and rip some of the runs like Cruiser and Exhibition. When those things are groomed, it is just perfection, fall line, wall-to-wall carving. You can lay down an edge. It's open. It's amazing. I love carving on the Sunburst chair and at Sun Peaks in general. If you want some groomers that are a little less steep, play around on the Sundance chair, play around on the Morsie. But for any skier who likes carving, Sun Peaks is just gonna be an absolute paradise for you. You're gonna have a total gas carving at Sun Peaks. The good news as well for intermediate skiers is the fun doesn't just stop on the groomed terrain. There's lots of transitional intermediate terrain. I thought a really cool zone that me and my parents really enjoyed is the West T-bar zone. They're gonna be putting a new chair there. You get kind of that Alpine skiing feel, but on really mellow, approachable terrain. And the snow's pretty good up that high, so that's a really fun spot as well to explore. And there's lots of areas that you can just kind of pop in and out of the trees on. Intermediates don't really have to be afraid of the Crystal chair or the Burfield chair. A lot of the blacks at Sun Peaks, I would say, feel like blues with like a little bit of bumps or maybe a few trees. So don't be afraid as an intermediate skier to explore some of the black diamonds at Sun Peaks. It's pretty open and you can see a lot of the runs, so make sure you take a peek at it from the chair before you try it. But there's lots of great runs that you can try, like the upper Burfield stuff, the blacks coming down there like, Nose of the Chief. Pretty good run for an intermediate skier. Now, don't get fooled by the family-friendly nature of this resort. It's still packing a solid punch. There's a few areas that are great to play as the advanced and expert skier, and one of those is off the Crystal chair. The runs you're really gonna wanna focus your time on are like Green Door and Hat Trick. They're a little bit steeper and they're fun. They've got bumps, there's good trees in between them. So if you just kind of mess around between like Chute, Green Door, and Hat Trick, somewhere in there, and rip those lines, keep lapping those, you're gonna have a really fun time as an expert skier, and you can just keep ripping down until you hit the cat track. Another epic spot to play as an expert skier is the upper Burfield area. There's a mid station on Burfield, so you don't have to ski down to the bottom every time, which is good because the Burfield is a long and slow chair. And usually the conditions below the mid station of Burfield can be kind of crummy. So you're just skiing like crap bumps all the way down. There are days when the snow is on, that top to bottom Burfield is just beautiful. You can just ski lift line under Burfield, have so much fun. I even had fun in marginal conditions under the Burfield chair, but it's great. You can just go up Burfield mid-mountain and ski some of those runs without painting yourself and going to the bottom. If you're on a powder hunt and want to find some fresh stuff, there's a few zones worth checking out. So one of those is called mid-mountain. It's where the Burfield is, short little boot pack up, and then you're gonna ski some trees, maybe 20 turns of just good pow in the trees before you hit the Burfield mid-station. The most epic hike accessed area to find the pow at Sun Peaks is called Gills. Woo! There's always lots of fresh pow in the Gills area. You can either traverse across and down from the Crystal chair or hike up Skunk to maximize your amount of pow turns. The Gills zone isn't overly steep, so it's pretty cool for an advanced skier, someone who likes black diamonds, to get into some hike access terrain. Because usually hike access terrain means double black, but in this case, you're hiking terrain into like single black type terrain. It feels a little more off the beaten path, a little more of like a slack country feel, which is pretty cool. So you're gonna find a lot of fresh snow in Gills. It's a short run, but it's a satisfying zone, and you can just kind of keep firing down through the trees until you link back up with the far cat track. One last rogue spot where the snow can be hiding and the terrain is really fun is on the Morsie side. So there's a bunch of black runs on the Morsie side. I like to call them the laundry runs. I don't think locals call them that, but they're called lint trap, tumble dry, static cling. All these kind of runs tend to have sick snow, and I had a really good lap on lint trap and tumble dry. You got to make sure that you get the exit back to the platter lift, or else you're going to end up over on the burr field, and it's kind of a long skate out of there. But since people don't want to go all the way over there and kind of deal with a bit of the traverse back to either the burr field or take the platter lift, those runs often get left untouched for a long time and have really, really good fall line and just kind of like our fun laps with fresh snow. So definitely worth checking it out on the Morrissey side if the snow is decent. The interior of BC is all about tree skiing and zipping through snow ghosts, and Sun Peaks is absolutely no different. The tree skiing is absolutely epic. At Sun Peaks, I didn't run into any notable cliff bands. I didn't get cliffed out. You don't have to feel nervous. You can feel confident. The only concern is getting on such flat terrain that you kind of got to waddle out. So tree skiing exploration on Sun Peaks is easier for the skier than it is for the snowboarder if you don't know where you're going. Personally, I love the trees around Hat Trick to shoot. And I also really love the trees around the elevation chair. There's like some cool natural gullies and like just fun trees kind of in and around the elevation chair. So kind of a rogue fun chair to lap if you like tree skiing and don't want to go all the way to the bottom. For the intermediate skier who wants to play around in trees, check out the Peekaboo Zone and the Three Bears. This area was always a hit for me when I was a kid on the Sundance chair. And Gills, epic tree skiing. If you want some mellow, fun, kind of slack country field tree skiing, worth it to check those out. And if you want really spaced, groomed kind of tree areas, check out the Morrissey and some of those kind of tree island runs, I call them. There's not really any major alpine bowls on Sun Peaks. West Bowl is technically a bowl, so you get that wide open fun feel, but it's super, super mellow, not that steep, not that intense of a descent, but still quite fun and definitely worth checking out, especially like an intermediate skiers can have such an epic time in the West Bowl area. Anything up at kind of Crystal, top of Burfield area is quite open alpine feel. So it's like a bit of a bowl type feel up there, but not a ton of open, big alpine bowls at Sun Peaks. It's an interior mountain. Terrain parks. Sun Peaks has a really dialed terrain park. Pretty much the whole run underneath the Sundance chair is a massive terrain park. So all types of riders can have a sick time riding the park underneath the chair. It's called Sun Peaks for a reason and gets over 2,000 hours of sunshine every single year. So, there's some mountains get more of a whiteout and others get sunshine. It's nice to be in the sunshine. On the other side of the spectrum, Sun Peaks is only getting about 600 centimeters of snow per season, but this snow is that quality cold Okanagan powder, nice, light, dry, super fun, and just makes all the groomers so incredible when that soft snow comes down overnight and grooms it right up. But 600 centimeter is nothing to be scoffed at. It's not a crazy amount of snowfall, but still pretty fun. Just make sure to dress warmly when you're at Sun Peaks because it's the interior and it does get quite chilly, especially in the December, January, February months. Sun Peaks isn't particularly known for its backcountry skiing. There's not a lot of huge peaks in the area, but I know there's some like mellow backcountry skiing off Mount Todd. So if you want to check it out, bring your backcountry gear. Probably be a lot of kind of tree skiing type terrain, but always fun to go for a little adventure if you don't feel like zipping around on the ski resort. Sun Peaks is incredibly family friendly. The gentle, well-groomed beginner terrain combined with the ski school and just friendly kid activities makes it the perfect spot for families. There's a dedicated learning zone for little kids, and there's an ice rink in the evening, and there's just so much fun stuff to do as a family at Sun Peaks. When I was a kid, my parents took me to Sun Peaks every single spring break. I do the Nancy Green little ski race up there, and just such quality memories and great times there. And then I'd ski that T-bar all night long till 7 p.m. It felt like I was out there till midnight, and they'd watch me from the hotel room in the warmth at the Sundial Hotel there. So all really, really good family memories and good spot for you to make them as well. Sun Peaks is solid views. I got no complaints. You're just looking over the Okanagan Valley type areas. Nothing that incredible. It's no Whistler. It's no Banff. It's not the Rockies. But still, you're at a mountain. It's fun. Looks good. Looks white, It's always fun to have some mountain views, but nothing mind-blowing. But snow ghosts are pretty cool. The interior snow ghosts are like kind of like something you have to see once in a lifetime. They're pretty neat, and they don't happen very much in other spots in the world. It's pretty unique to BC's interior. Sun Peaks is affiliated with the Icon and Mountain Collective pass programs. Otherwise, you can buy like multi-day passes and save a bit on a lift ticket. I personally think Sun Peaks is the best all-rounder in British Columbia. So if you're looking for super steep, crazy terrain, wildly deep snow, that's not the resort for you. But Sun Peaks is kind of just really good at everything and as an experience. So accommodation, ski and ski out accommodation is widely available at Sun Peaks for like not too much of a crazy cost. You're just gonna have a really good time up there. The groomers are really, really fun. The terrain is really approachable for everyone, and you get quite a bit of sunshine. So you're trading sunshine for like for 200 centimeters less than Big White gets. So Big White, you're gonna ski more powder, but Sun Peaks, you're gonna get more sunshine. So it's, you know, there's the trade-off there. All in all, Sun Peaks is definitely a must ski, and it is a must stay for families and, you know, groups of friends. It's just a really fun spot to be up there with people. And don't forget to get some nachos down in the pub beneath the sundial. They're so bomb. Let me know in the comments what you think about Sun Peaks. Let me know if you've been there. Let me know if you're planning to go there. And let me know if you have any questions. Either myself or someone awesome from the comment section will help answer those questions. And it's just fun hearing from all of you. I really, really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow, helps new people find the channel, and helps me get new subscribers so we can keep making cool videos and make even cooler videos as we get closer to the ski season here. Snow's almost falling, so get stoked, stay spicy, and I'll see you in the next one. Sayonara, folks.